Good day, dear students. Welcome to our English lesson. Today our topic is physical education. The contents of today's lesson are reading and reading activities about short history of the Olympic Games. Before we actually read about Olympic Games, we're going to make a short survey about the Olympic Games and to see if you know about them well. Once we finished with Olympic Games topic, we're going to learn about who is a hero, what is the definition of the word. Once we learned about it, we're going to have a writing session on my personal hero. Before we learn about Olympic sports, we will do a small warm-up activity to see if you know the sports well. You need to match the most popular Olympic sports that you see on your right with correct pictures that we see in the middle of your screen. Now stop the video and do the activity. Welcome back. It is time to check your answers. First, football and soccer. Second, gymnastics. The third, athletics. To be exact, it is sprinting. Next, basketball. And the last one, swimming. Well done. Now let's start with a pre-reading activity, survey on the Olympic Games. You need to write yes, no, or not sure about the sentences mentioned on the screen. For your information, chariot races are competitions that include horses. Now, spend some time to do this activity. You will see the correct answers only after we read the text about Olympic Games. Now it is time to get introduced with the history of Olympic Games. You need to read the text, and once you're finished, let's think about what was the most interesting fact for you. You can see some pictures on your right. These pictures are for you to understand what the words discus, javelin, long jump, and equestrian sports mean. Now spend some time to read the text. I hope that you enjoyed reading the text. What was the most interesting fact for you? Personally, for me, the most interesting fact was that people didn't take note of times or distance results. That is very shocking. Now let's do a reading activity about the history of the Olympic Games. Do you remember the surveys that we did at the beginning of the lesson? Now, as you know about the history of Olympic Games, it is time for you to check if the sentences are true or false. Now stop the video and do the activity. Welcome back. It is time to check your answers. The Olympic Games started in Greece. It is true. The ancient Olympic Games were more than 2,000 years ago. It is true. In ancient times, the Games happened every 4 years. It is true. Women could participate in the first modern Olympic Games. It is false. The Paralympic Games started in the 20th century. It is true. Ancient athletes used special objects in the long jump. It is true. Chariot races were part of ancient sports events. It is true. In ancient Olympics, winners received medals. It is false. They received actually crown of lips that you can see on the right part of your screen. People measured time at distance results in ancient competitions. It is false. And lastly, some traditions from ancient Olympics still exist today. It is true. Well done. Now let's do one more reading activity. You can see expressions at the bottom of the slide. You need to match them to ancient Olympics, to the picture on your left, to the modern Olympics picture on your right, or if it's relevant to both of them, select both in the middle of your screen. Now stop the video and do the activity. Welcome back. It is time to check your answers. Crown of leaves, ancient Olympics. Discus throwing, bows. Female athletes. it is modern Olympics. Medals for winners, modern Olympics. Only summer games, ancient Olympics. Paralympic Games, modern Olympics. 4 years, both. Well done. Now it is time to learn what a hero is. Hero, a person who is admired or liked for having done something very brave or having achieved something great. When we read such definition, who comes to your mind? We will need this information for our writing practice on our next slides. Now let's see a real example of a hero. We need to read the text, or if you want, we can listen to it. Once you're done, we need to answer one question. Do you think that the trainer Laura is a hero? So please do the activity and come back to check your answer.
My football manager is a hero to me. I can tell a lot of stories about her, but what she did at our match last weekend was very special. We were winning the game 1-0. The other team wasn't playing badly, but we were playing really well. At the end of the match, we won 3-0, and I could see that one of their players was really sad. We were celebrating our victory, but Laura, our manager, walked towards that player. She said to him, "Don't be sad. You played very well. There's always the next match." He looked at her and smiled. Isn't she a hero?
Welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed this small text about Laura. So, do you think the trainer Laura is a hero? Personally, for me, she is a hero because not only she cherished for her team, but she also helped other people in need. Well done. Now we will prepare ourselves to a writing. With that, we will do one more activity. Read the text again if needed. You need to match sentences from 1 to 5 with expressions mentioned in A to E. Now stop the video and do the activity. Welcome back. It is time to check your answers. The first sentence, it is C, introduces the person the author is writing about. The second sentence, E, gives details about a specific event. Third is A. We were winning the match 1-0. It introduces a specific event. The fourth, the question, "Isn't she a hero?" connects to D, invites the reader to respond to the post. And the last one, the hashtag Everyday Heroes, helps readers to find other posts about everyday heroes. Well done. During previous slides and activities, we learned what a hero was. Also, we saw an example of a social media post about a personal hero. But it's very different when it comes to practice. So it is time for us to write our social media post about our personal heroes. We need to follow several steps. Step 1. Decide and write about one person, your personal hero. After that, find or draw an image of the person to illustrate your post. Once we're done with step 1, we're passing to the step 2. Do the following. Give information about this person. Write the reasons this person is your hero. Give the specific situation to prove your point. And lastly, ask for the opinion of your reader in the post. Once we're finished with step 2, we're passing to step 3. Write your description using the given structure and using a hashtag #mypersonalhero. Now let's do step 1. We need to decide and write about one person, your personal hero. After that, to find and draw an image of the person to illustrate our post. For me personally, I decided to select my father. So my father is my personal hero. The image that I selected to use in my post you can see on the right part of your screen. Now, do the same with your own example. Now let's do step 2. I will give you my sentences to use as an example. For the first question, give information about this person. My personal hero is my father. He has a big family with 3 children and he works, takes care of us and always tries to improve himself. He is also a very good listener and a wise person, and that makes him very special to me. Write the reasons this person is your hero. He is my hero because she shows me that you can be a good father, a good man, and a good person and still continue learning and working towards your dreams. From him, I learned kindness, supportiveness, and love. He inspires me to become a better person every day. Give the specific situation to prove your point. There was one situation that showed me how much he supports me. I wanted to apply for a volunteering program, but I was afraid and unsure about my decision. My father listened to me, encouraged me, and helped me to choose the right path. Because of his support, I applied, and this experience opened new opportunities in my personal and working life. Ask for the opinion of your reader in the post. Do you agree that my father suits the description of a hero? Now it is time to do your own sentences. I hope that you prepared answers for the questions that were mentioned in the step 2. Now let's do step 3. Use a structure to write your social media post. It should be different, but don't forget to use a hashtag at the end of your post. Now let's check the variant how the social media post could look like from my example. Now it is time to check the final variant of a social media post on the topic of personal hero. The illustration you can see on the left part of your screen. The social media post itself is in the middle of the screen. In the text, I mentioned not only the text itself, but also a hashtag at the end of it. Don't forget to use it as well. I believe that you made your post look very nice. Well done. Dear students, I'm very proud of you. As we reach the end of the lesson, it is time to think what we did today. Not only we learned different types of Olympic sports, but we also learned a short history of the Olympic Games. Now you know the differences and similarities between ancient Olympics, modern Olympics, and what still they have the same. Once we finished with this part, we also had an opportunity to learn more about what a hero is. At the end of the lesson, we had a writing practice where we did write a social media post on our personal heroes. That was a very informative and interesting lesson to be with you. Thank you and see you next time.